Welcome back to Graceful Art Designs. Today I have an idea of painting a little fawn caught in a thicket. But I also sketched out a stag, I guess, with his horns, which is also quite interesting. And I mean, the sketches are not very good. I just really did them in a hurry while I was lying in bed one night. And I don't have a sketch on the canvas because the canvas I just took and covered up with what remained of my last oil paints leftovers. So a bit of blue, a bit of green, a bit of burnt sienna, burnt umber and white all blended together with a lot of oil. And I did it a day ago, so it has dried. So now I can sketch on one of the two of these. And I think I will do the fawn. And I'll do a pair another time when I have a bigger canvas. It will be too much to squash onto one canvas. So that's what I'm going to do now, and I'll bring you back once I have sketched on the fawn. So that's my sketch, and this is a very small canvas. It's about I don't know, 40 by 40 or 30 by 30, I'm not sure, centimeters. Now all the photos I've looked at on fawns caught in thickets, well, none of them have their legs showing, so my legs are not looking very good. I just kind of guessed them. I couldn't find an anatomical drawing either. So I'm going to just add some colour to the fawn, just to see if I can make it a bit more proportional. They have very big ears for their little tiny heads. And then I'm going to add the leaves around it and see, because I think I should have done it more sort of this way, but well, it's coming along, and I'm making some progress, but far from everywhere I need to be now. So I need to make the face a lot lighter here, and I've moved the eyes away from the side of the face. I didn't like that look. They're big baby eyes. I've made a bit of progress. I think I'm getting the proportions a bit better, but not quite perfect yet. Little eyes need to really look like little doe eyes. A little white shadow under them. One is bigger than the other for some reason. And a little shadow under the chin. And so the thicket I'm going to put over his body, but I'll have to wait for the body to dry, otherwise that's going to really mess it up. In the meantime, I'll just I'll paint on a tree over here, so that the tree can be part of what's causing him to be trapped as the branches come over to him. And so it really is a step-by-step process when you're just sketching with the paintbrush and you don't have a diagram on the canvas. You have to be creative. I mean, I don't have any photos of a tree, the type of trees that they would be caught in. So I'll just have to go with flow, as they say. I love painting trees, so I suppose I should look up. But it depends where the fawn is found. You know, which country it's in, which habitat it's in. But it could be anywhere. So this could be just a whole bunch of bushes around the fawn. And so I'm just dabbing on leaves. Let them, this is a brush that I've used so many times, and the leaves come off just, in perfect leaf shapes. So I think I have mentioned it before, but you do want the leaves literally covering him. So I put a bit of a yellow light around him, just to enhance him a bit. And I'll add some more leaves there, but of course I'm running out of sap green. And I've got cool green, which I could mix with a bit of the yellow and see what happens there. It'll be a little bit brighter, but at least. And I could add a touch of orange. I don't have to have leaves all the same shade. So, because it's a low tree and it's close to the fawn, I've painted on the branches of the thicket that are going to be covering the fawn, but I'll only do the leaves when his paint is dry. I just decided I might as well do that now, and it worked without blurring the fawn too much. Once there are leaves on, more leaves covering the legs, then you won't really see the legs, and the branches coming from all directions. Then all I need to do is maybe just make his face a little smaller, but I'll let it dry, because often when the paint settles, things look different the next day. And I might just add in a few brighter leaves now while I have the green still and the white. I just because you do want leaves of all colours. Some brighter, some duller, some in the foreground, some in the background. I mixed a bit of orange as well, a bit of sap green, a bit of yellow. So I've got a whole variety of leaves. But I guess I'll have to get out more paint when I do the leaves covering his little body tomorrow. Before I could put my brush down, I decided to just actually soften the leaves so that they're not all defined. They're all kind of just a whole maze of leaves blurring in the background. But there's some distinct separation between them. And I'll do the same around his body when that's a bit more dry tomorrow. But I could do the trees now, the bushes and the... So that already looks a bit more like a thicket. The painting has dried, and off camera I've made a few more changes just to his face. I'm still not 100% satisfied. I just need to add a touch of green there just to make his face look a little narrower there. And I'll blur that in later. I've got too much paint on my brush right now. And I'll just make it a little darker around there as well. And so now I'm going to paint the leaves that are sort of growing, that are over his body. And these I want to make a brighter green, just because they're in the front and they're more visible. And just to show how he's trapped but soon to be rescued. And so these, I'm using the Fulart brush, which does sort of automatically make the leaves if you just put it down like that. And I'm going to make them a few different colours. And it's a pity to hide too much of the fawn, but I mean, that's the whole idea of being caught in a thicket. So one of these is called a cool green, one is an emerald green, but I think the other one is the emerald, which is a bit brighter. This is quite dark, which is fine. but it's brighter than those others behind. So I might go over some of the foliage in the background, I'm not sure. I want to actually shape some leaves more definitely here. So, because leaves are also beautiful in their own right. And although this is about the fawn, many of the photos I've looked at have beautiful foliage in them. So clearly where fawns live, there's a lot of beauty to be seen. And so by spreading that green around his head, all around his head, and then just tapping it out into the background, it's a cool green. It helps the warm colours that he's made of to pop forward. And so that's always something to remember. If you want something to pop forward in your painting, paint the background cool colours, like a cool green or other colour. So now I'm going to use this other green and just pop some of that on, just to give the leaves more dimension. And that will conclude my painting. Not much is coming off. But always with leaves and flowers, it's really it's all about the blend of different colours, shading, not to have one flat colour to make them really beautiful. I mean, you can also, wait for it to dry and then add in leaf veins, but there's no need to. The veins kind of form on their own. And the star of the show is little baby fawn there. And apparently a fawn caught in a thicket is a symbol of hope. So I think that's enough greenery. Yeah, I could also do kind of some like fern type of leaves there. And this brush is a bit too thick for that. So if I can just do some thin ones. Mix it with a bit of the white, and let's see, maybe I can do some here. Sorry if I was showing you the floor. So that adds something to it. And maybe a little bit more there. It's also all about layering. The more layers you have in a painting, the more depth, the more variety, the more there is to look at. Although I do like my simple line drawings where there's just two colours. They have their own beauty. So I'm not going to worry too much about the markings on the fawn because honestly they vary from fawn to fawn, and also I mean they're very much covered by the leaves here, so it wouldn't matter. So that's the end of my painting. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll take a photo when it's dry.